All right. Number 11, we've got kitlu. Kitlu. This is the tricky one. Okay, this is where students will sometimes stumble because we forget what's going on with the Dagesh. We're going to answer this in terms of the Sheva first, but you can't answer the Sheva question unless you understand how the Dagesh is working here. Because when we look at this, we would ask ourselves, the first question that we're going to ask in terms of the Sheva is it preceded by a short vowel? Short and silent. Well, you look at the Hirik and you see a short vowel. And so you would say, yes, it's preceded by a short vowel, therefore it is silent. Here's the problem with that. When you have a Dagesh here, it's not actually preceded by the Hirik. It's preceded by, and let me write this down here in Hebrew, because I've got the transliteration in English letters up here. But this is what you're actually seeing is the Kof, Hirik, Tet, and then a silent Sheva, and then another, and then another Tet, and then a vocal Sheva. This is what's going on inside of the Dagesh letter. You've actually got two letters here, and they both have Shevas. Now, if this had a Patach, or if this had a Kametz, or a Sere, or a Segel, or something like that, we would put that under the second one. But this first letter, there's no vowel within the Dagesh letter, so it has to be a silent Sheva. So we would get Kit Telu. All right? Well, when we look at it now, yeah, the first Sheva would be silent because of the Hirik. But when we get to the second one, always remember when you've got a Dagesh and a Sheva, you're looking at the second Sheva, not the first one. Another rule we can throw at this to kind of give you a shortcut, and again, shortcuts are great, but you have to remember them. So you have to decide whether or not it's worth remembering the shortcut. But the shortcut we can throw in here is if you have a Sheva and a Dagesh in the same letter, that Sheva is going to be vocal. You will not have a Sheva silent in the same letter as a Dagesh. Okay. You got the rule? Okay. I'm going to pull the rug out from under you. We are going to learn in a couple weeks the one exception to that rule. But it occurs at the end of a word. Okay, so this stuff gets weird only when you're in the last letter of a word. Okay, when you have an internal Dagesh and an internal Sheva, as long as it's not in the final letter, if you've got a Dagesh and a Sheva in the same letter, it will be a vocal Sheva. Now here is why that's true. I just spelled out for you why that's true. Because this Dagesh is the second. This Dagesh is on the second tav, not the first tav. Whatever vowel you see under the Dagesh letter, it's under the second letter, not the first letter. All right? So when we look at this Sheva, understanding how the word is actually formed here, when we look at this second Sheva, and we ask, is it preceded by a short vowel? No, it's preceded by a tav. It's preceded by, you could say, a silent Sheva, but that is not a short letter. Therefore, this is vocal.